All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL Open, and here we have Nexium taking on Vendetta. First map up, it will be solo hardpoint. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be very, very good indeed. And as we say, Nexium going into this as the favourites, but do not rule Vendetta Nation out. A lot of the time we see these teams that don't have that much background forming and causing some massive upsets when it does come to these big events. So we will start off with Nexium. Love him or hate him, it's going to be Rez, who we are watching right from the get-go, and he does get first-blooded by Husey.
Yeah, it's not a good start for him, but this is really good for Vendetta. They've already got a bit of control down this class side. You can see that all 4 players had gone down for Nexium, and now it's going to be Rifle trying to hold it down off the top purple. He can't do it. He does get taken down by that man, Rez.
And there we go now with Hectic. Hectic, as we say, the most recent pickup to this team, immediately gets shut down. This first hardpoint area on Solar, so heavily contested, incredibly difficult to lock down. You often find teams just try and push to P2 around this area that we can see Unks in now, around them pipes, because that's where it's easier to lock it down and get control.
Yeah, it was indeed, but you can see that it was a good little start there from Vendetta. Unfortunately, they are getting shut down now as Nexium start to find their way back into this, as they are now pulling this lead a little bit further, bit by bit.
Yep, and keep an eye on that minimap in the top corner, because we are going over to the next hardpoint, and it does look like Vendetta Nation have the stronger setup. They've immediately rotated to it. They've given up on that central hardpoint area, but unfortunately it's going to slip right out of their hands. They've been driven right back, and now we're seeing this heavy skirmish from both angles.
Yeah, this is a nice play here from L. He does pick up.
Golly.
Oh, he actually doesn't even pick up one. I thought he got one there. Unfortunately, he doesn't able to, but Golly there with a massive play. He is 6-1. He's on a 5-point streak. Let's see if we can hop on with him, see what he can do. He's now picked up his 6th one in a streak. Now looking towards this mid-map area. I think he might have just seen that one guy pushing towards the tunnels area, but no, he's ducked out of it.
Well, let's see what he can do. I mean, great awareness there from Golly, actually just locking down those spawns, peering down those rush routes that they could try and find the way to the hard point, but we're seeing Nexium now storming away from this, and as we said, Golly having an incredible start here at EGL.
Yeah, this is what we kind of really expected from Nexium. A bit of a slow start within the first 30 seconds, but now they're really stepping their game up, 64-17, as this hardpoint is contested within the last 7 seconds. Rez just holding around, trying to get as much as time as possible. He does have to spot Cambo there to make sure that he can pick up the last few scraps.
Yeah, Cambo really applying the pressure, and we could see that him just single-handedly driving Vendetta Nation out of this. He's got a good little setup here to get on the rotation, but he's been shut down now by Hectic. It's an unfortunate team kill there by Rifle War, and that is going to allow Nexium to again gain initial control of this hardpoint area.
Yeah, on board with L as he picks up one. He's going to get contested by a second one. He is able to do that one. Can he get the 3rd? If he does, this is disgusting. Unfortunately, he does get shut down. So unfortunate.
Well, Husey, as we said, we got a chance to talk to him before this, and he didn't have the highest expectations of the team. He was realistic about how far they could get with some of the team being newcomers to an event like this. We're going to see what kind of damage we can do, and we can see this aerial dogfight going down. It is once again going to be Nexium who are coming out on top, and that's a significant point difference now, Stealth. Yeah,
especially on the 3rd hardpoint belt. One ball with Rez as he drops in, picks up 1, he picks up 2, he's going to see a 3rd ahead of him, but he has run out of bullets. Needs to reload. Now still, I don't know how he's staying alive. Unfortunately, he does get taken out in the end, and that's that man Hectic.
Well, it's L who's standing out now for the Nexium lineup. As we say, Nexium really kind of breaking into that upper tier of teams in the European community now, and this is a fine example of why that pretty much triple the points of Vendetta Nation, and putting on an incredible show still here with L over double positive kill death ratio, captures under his belt as well. He's got a great rotation now to this car park area.
Yeah, he's going to be pushing straight the way through mid. He does pick off one as he goes through. He does see one at the back of the van, picks that one up nice and easy. Going to get contested now, then glass side needs to duck out of the way because he's running out of bullets. Going to get tagged up a little bit and gets the kill in the end. I'm surprised he managed to pull that one off.
L is just unstoppable now. 5 kill streak, 16-6, 6 captures, and has thrown himself into those dangerous areas as well, and still coming out on top. Finally does go down to Hectic's.
Yeah, so unfortunate. I thought we might have seen that player then. Unfortunately, he hadn't, so he does get taken out on board now with Hectic, who's going to be pushing straight the way through. Sees one, gets the assist. He has jumped straight the way over the top of the other player, and he does get taken out from him.
I mean, the problem is now Vendetta Nation look like they might have just about regained control of that top area. They didn't actually manage to pull it off, but they would have been in such a poor position now on the final rotation of the first half. We can see already Nexium are going straight to it. Cambo's locked it down. There's a great setup. If I just bring up that minimap, look how far driven Vendetta Nation are.
Yeah, they really need to push out through the back though next time to try and get these spawns, so it's going to make things a lot easier for them. But Vendetta are the ones who've actually rotated around a lot quicker, and they're going to be able to spawn up and get them in a more favourable position to be able to try and break it.
Well, certainly man of the hour here, Nexium L, 22-9. He's not even broken into double digits with the deaths, but over 20 kills. Not a single player matching this performance so far for me. Still in that hardpoint area, looking very dangerous. Should he picked up that kill? quite a difficult one to make, but makes it look very, very easy.
Yeah, and he's going to just try and duck away, try to stay alive. He does get challenged by one player. He does pick up the kill, unfortunately. He does get taken out in the end by Husey. On board now with Golly, who's going to get contested inside the hardpoint. He's able to turn around and get away with that scot-free.
And this is a masterclass now of hardpoint. Nexium just cruising through this game. Vendetta Nation going to have to pull out all the stops if they want to get back into this. Hughes is doing a great job of doing that, but again, L is there to answer the call of Nexium.
Yeah, and it's 100+ difference now going into the second half, and this is not a really good position to really be in if you're a Vendetta fan. But they're going to try and give this a red-hot crack if they can, but L is locking down this one quite beautifully.
I mean, every time we're seeing this, we're seeing one Nexium player get onto that hardpoint area and a great surround by the remaining teammates. There doesn't seem to be a dedicated person who's laying down. It's just great rotation within the team from them. And Vendetta Nation are almost running at it in single file. They need to really think about some more strategic pushes.
Yeah, they're not really pushing as a unit. I think that's the thing. They're one by one. But Husey actually has picked up a lovely little two-piece. Yep. Unks has picked up one, and Rifle as well. So that's going to make things a lot easier. They just need to get inside this hardpoint and get as much points as possible now. They are down by 100+ points, and I mean, they need to try and pull this back in some way.
Oh, it would be a ridiculous comeback if they pull this off. It's certainly still possible, and that's the thing to remember. So Vendetta Nation not giving up without a fight. You can see them really falling behind in terms of the slaying ability there. Husey just about holding his own up top, but it's going to take more than one person.
Yeah, I like that positioning there from Cambo. You know, he's already set up for the next one as it was like dwindling down on time on the last hardpoint. But unfortunately, he did get taken out, and you know, he really had that control until he did get killed.
There we go. Now around this pipe area, nearly the big two-piece there for Husey, but it's another team kill, unfortunately, by Rifle War. Does manage to redeem himself by shutting down Rez, and this is great work from Vendetta Nation. Now Hectic's with a two-piece of his own. This could be a big 40 points for them.
Yeah, they need to lock this down and quick. Rifle there, unfortunately, had to reload. It does get taken down. On board with Unks, who tries to throw a stun grenade. He's able to connect with one. He's going to see two inside the hardpoint. He does get a team kill, but picks up the enemy player at the same time. Going to see one more ahead of him. Is he able to get this one? Yes, he does. That's big.
Yeah, Unks really stepping things up now, but does unfortunately there miss L, who was just lying down prone in the area. Still a 100-point difference pretty much between these two teams, and it just seems to be maintained now. You know, everything that Vendetta Nation are trying, they are pulling it back a little bit, but that is a huge difference. Yeah,
the rotation now was a little bit too slow for my liking as well from Vendetta. You can see the Nexium were already set up. Cambo in the strategic position there to try and lock down the hard point, but he does get taken out. Husey tries to push through the big door, unfortunately does get taken out once again. Rifle now comes across two players, and that is not what you want to see when you're trying to push out.
Oh, not at all. Two go down, and once again Nexium just flood in. Absolutely nothing Vendetta Nation could do about that. They've been driven out, and you can see now just the disorganization of them. If I once again just temporarily, really quickly bring up the minimap, look how far spread out they are, and again it's just these single file pushes. And don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting them to kind of wait and push as a unit, but they really need to just take the time a little bit, and I think they're getting rushed because of that huge point difference.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they're just like getting, well,
it's frantic.
Yeah, it is just pure frantic, and it's not helping them in any way, shape or form. I mean, now it's 210 to 91, and we're only on the third hard point in the second rotation. I mean, it's not going to end well at all for Vendetta. I mean, this is kind of what we predicted anyway.
Yeah.
But still, you'd expect a bit more from Vendetta.
And certainly not this many team kills. That's another team kill. Rifle War with the grenade. They've got to be conscious of that. It's likely that they're just going to have to write this game off. I mean, sure, they could still pull it back, but realistically, they're just going to have to put this behind them, move on. This is a best-of-5 series double elimination bracket, and yeah, there's still all the time to pull this back. But let's give some credit here to L. Look at the figures he's putting up.
That is impressive. I mean, I just want to point out as well, there's another team kill gone down, and 4 of the 6 team kills within this game have all come from grenade throws.
Wow.
They need to be a bit more strategic with their throws, I think.
Well, this is it, and it's, as we said, it's kind of this panicky, frantic play. I don't feel like they're playing this event how they would do online, and that's, you know, not to say that they're online players, as it's sometimes dubbed within the community. It's just, I think the nerves are getting to them. They're on main stage here. It's some of these guys' first ever event, and to be competing in front of an audience as well, I think it's got to the heads a little bit.
Yeah, I think it does a little bit. Obviously, nerves will play a big part within that's land situation, but at the same time, it's just not really what they were thinking at the same time. You know, it's all about strategy, and they didn't really have one coming into this, I don't think.
Well, it does look like Vendetta Nation have managed to hang on until it went down right to this final hard point, but it is not going any other way than in Nexium's favor. Vendetta Nation really putting up a valiant attempt, and I've got to say, I feel like they stepped things up a little bit the further the game went on. I feel like they've warmed up and got themselves a bit more into this game, but Nexium way too strong for them.
Yeah, they're going to need to get some revenge now going into this Search and Destroy. And you know, this is the ones that I said that Vendetta may have a chance on. I think they will take it, but it's going to be extremely close.
Okay, well, as things close out here, maybe Vendetta Nation getting so many points on this last hard point. Finally, it does end there. It is going to be 250 to 132. I really want to see the stats of L as well. I want to see what he finished off on there. Let's just have a quick look. 45 to 26 with 14 captures as well. Golly not too far behind. A great team effort. Collectively, Nexium really standing out.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Rez was the only player to go negative on that side, but you can see he's loving that there. Great celebration from Campbell. But I mean, as a unit, Nexium played that perfectly.
Yep, absolutely. And you know, I don't want to criticize Vendetta Nation too much, because sure, it was a bit of a whitewash there. It was a huge defeat, almost double the points when you look at it that way. But at the same time, they did show these glimmers of hope. There were certain situations where, particularly Husey, we saw him getting a great position, provide this aerial cover, getting a great vantage point to actually support his team as they flooded on. And they've just got to focus on this. They have the capability to do well. They just need to remain calm and use that going into the next games.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't help that they weren't pushing as a unit to be able to break these hard points. They were literally just going single file, and it was just lining up for them. It was just easy for Nexium to just pick them off. But we'll see what they can do going into this Search and Destroy. All
right, so a big win there for Nexium on the first map. This is a best of 5, and we'll be going into game number 2 very, very shortly after this quick break.